Hello students, today I'll be discussing the paper 1 syllabus of UGC NTA NET set examination. I am Miss Kanwalpreet. I am from Mumbai and have completed my Masters of Commerce in Business Management and I am set and NET qualified both in the subject of Commerce. तो जैसे कि आपको पता है मैंने अपनी पुरानी वीडियोस में पेपर 1 के बारे डिस्कस किया है और कुछ वीडियोस अपलोड किए हर टॉपिक पर और आपको इजी तरीका बताया है कि कैसे आप क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व कर सकते हैं कुछ ट्रिक्स एंड टिप्स और कॉमन सेंस के साथ। और मेरे पेपर 2 की भी प्लेलिस्ट है कॉमर्स की, तो अगर आपने मेरी पुरानी वीडियोस नहीं देखी है तो पहले उनको भी देख लीजिए। और जैसे कि हमें पता है अभी हमारा नेट एग्जाम काफी नजदीक है, भले हमारे पास डेट शीट नहीं आई है बट 20 सितंबर से हमारा एग्जाम कमेंस हो सकता है। तो आज हमारी 20 अगस्त है, तो अप्रोक्सीमेटली आपके पास कुछ ही दिन बाकी है। तो आइए डिस्कस कर लेते हैं कि जब आप पहली बार शुरुआत करें पेपर की पढ़ने के लिए आपको कौन से टॉपिक्स को ज्यादा ध्यान देना है और आप कैसे अंडरस्टैंड कर सकते हैं कि सिलेबस को हम कैसे स्टडी कर सकते हैं। तो ये आपको एक इनिशियल गाइडेंस है। एज यू ऑल नो द सिलेबस ऑफ कॉमर्स एज वेल एज पेपर 1 हैज बीन अपडेटेड इन द year June 2019. So whenever you download the syllabus, make sure you are downloading from the official website. And if you check the paper 1 syllabus, there is a note which is mentioned at the end that we expect 5 questions per topic. So it means each topic of paper 1 is going to fetch me 10 marks. So in fact, this is the only paper which is predictable and I expect that from each topic I am going to score 10 marks. Okay, so but anyways I always make a note that sometimes conditions may apply. You never know when the format gets changed or when sometimes the weightage may be changed, but let's stick to this and see. We have 10 total topics under paper 1 and this is a general paper. Not all of you much have studied this topic anywhere in your post graduation or graduation subject. Or maybe if you have completed your B.Ed or you are from education, maybe you have studied these topics. But yes, we all know that as it is a general paper, I don't expect very difficult questions from each topic. So the first unit here is teaching aptitude. Second is research aptitude. Third is comprehension. That is the reading comprehension. A passage is given. Fourth is communication. Fifth is mathematical reasoning and aptitude. Sixth is logical reasoning. Seventh is data interpretation. Eighth is information and communication technology. Ninth, people development and environment. And 10th, we have higher education system. Now see, I have given them a different color. The yellow ones indicate they are almost pure theoretical subjects. Okay, so they are theoretical topics. So you don't get much of practical questions in this subject. In fact, teaching aptitude is completely theoretical. And people development and environment is completely theoretical as well as higher education system. But in research aptitude, we may sometimes get a practical question, but generally they are not asked because this subject is almost repeated in paper 2 of few subjects like commerce, management, economics. And then we have information and communication technology, where sometimes you may get one question related to calculation. But otherwise, they are pure theoretical subjects. And as I'll give you my example, I have completed my master's in business management, which means I am not very good with accountancy, taxation subjects. So such topics which are pure theoretical, pure subjective, they becomes very easier for me because there are no calculation, there is no logical based question. These topics are completely on our understanding. So if you prefer such subjects, then definitely these are going to help you good marks. Okay, now third is comprehension. Now it is a passage. Now generally what happens with respect to comprehension, you should develop the habit of reading and understanding. Okay, there is no other success formula for this comprehension based passages. You should have a good command over the language in which you are appearing for the examination. Example, if you are appearing in Hindi, then you should have a good command over Hindi. Okay, so you generally, if passages are not very technical, but yes, if you are from commerce stream, sometimes the question may be related to computer, or I'll say sometimes the question is based on history, then it becomes little difficult. So for such topics, you need to develop a habit of reading. Okay. Then we have fifth topic, that is mathematical reasoning and aptitude. So here we get questions which are practical. Okay, you don't are allowed to use calculator. So here what happens is, when you are practicing at home, if you are using calculator, then it becomes a negative point for you in the examination, because whenever you practice is without the calculator. These topics, okay, the practical questions, the practical topics are very scoring, because unlike the theoretical subjects, here the question and the answer remains a fixed. If you know the formula, you know how to calculate, you know the logic behind it, then definitely you're going to score your 2 marks. So such topics are very, very easy, but provided you know such calculations. Okay. Then again, logical reasoning, it is a combination of few theoretical questions and few your logic based questions. And then we have data interpretation. Generally, we get a pie diagram or a bar diagram, on based on that we are supposed to find out the answer. So this is how I've divided the syllabus. If I talk about my strategy, I'm not very good with practical subjects. So I've always tried to score from subjects which are theoretical, which are subjective. Okay, the problem with the subjective subject is you need to have a good command over the language. You should understand, okay, you should be able to read and find out the best suitable answer. And unlike, as I told you, the questions which are practical, they are very, very easy, provided you know that, because we get a fixed question. Okay, you know how to calculate time, distance, and speed. You remember the formula. You are very good with calculation. Okay, you can quickly find out the answer without using the calculator. So definitely you are going to score this 30 marks. Okay, but in my case, what happens if I don't understand the data interpretation, but I'm very good with communication or topics such as research aptitude, I should make a strategy that I should focus on such topics which are good for me. Okay, I should not see whether I'm going to score 30 marks or 70 marks. But yes, my strategy is to understand my strength subjects. Okay, the subjects which are going to fetch me good marks. If I'm not good with data interpretation, rather than wasting 10-20 minutes on that, I should make my other topics very strong so that I don't even lose 2 marks in them. Okay, so understand, here you have to make your strategy. You cannot keep asking your other friends or teachers that which subject should be given more importance, because completely it is up to you. As I told you in paper 1, we expect 5 questions per topic. So even if you analyze the syllabus, you understand that how you should start your preparation. Okay, so understand your strength, your weakness. My strength are the topics which I'm comfortable, the theoretical part. So if I skip even the 5th, 6th and the 7th unit, okay, I still have 7 topics in hand. Okay, out of 7 topics, if I make them so strong that I'm not going to even miss one question, then I can even score 70 marks from these 7 topics. So understand the syllabus, understand your strategy. My success formula is not going to work for you. Moving on to the teaching aptitude. See, I've divided into 6 subtopics. In fact, this is the syllabus. I've just made a note that under this, we are going to 6 topics. Okay. So what happens is, my previous videos have given you a beautiful explanation of all the concepts of all the syllabus. But here I'm just focusing on the syllabus of 10 topics. So it is divided into 6 subtopics. If you're a B.Ed student, you have completed your B.Ed, this topic becomes very easier because there you have studied. Okay, so generally the answer for this relating to teaching learning should always be positive, because this is how we deal with our students, and you have to just remember the recent trends. So the ones highlighted in yellow are the major topics. So under teaching, we have the concept, we have objectives, levels of teaching. 100% you're going to get a question on levels of teaching. So we have memory-based, memory, understanding, and reflective. So we have 3 levels, right from who has propounded this concept to questions which are practical based. Then we have the characteristics and the basic requirements. Then we have learner's characteristics. Now, who is the learner? In our setup, the student is the learner. Okay. So the characteristics of the adolescent, our teenage students, and the adult learners. Who are the adult learners? Who, because maybe of certain problems or because they could not complete their education during the teenage years, they have skipped it and then they are now pursuing it again. This is again a topic of higher education. So we have characteristics relating to their academic, the social, society related, emotional, cognitive, that is the thinking. Whenever you read the word cognitive, it is something related to your mind, intellectual capacity, and the individual differences. All students are not same. Just I gave you my example. that I'm very good with theoretical subjects. So the teacher, even if the accountancy or the taxation teacher is very excellent, but because of the limitations of the Kanwalpreet as a student, because she's not comfortable with such topics, I may not score as good marks in those subjects. Okay. So these are the individual differences which as a teachers we should respect. Then we have factors affecting teaching related to the teacher. So we have questions on the teacher, students, learner, the support material, anything that supports the PPT, the medium which through I'm teaching, the instructional facilities, learning environment, and the institution. Then we have the methods of teaching in institutions of higher learning. So we have the teacher-centered as well as the learner-centered. Presently, if I tell you, we are following the blended method, okay, hybrid mode. At present, we all are into teaching, but we all are teaching offline as well as on, because due to COVID, we all have suddenly moved to this online teaching, and many are taking the advantage of it. We have the offline, the online methods. We have the portals such as Swayam Prabha, MOOCs. So these are all the latest recent additions. If you even just Google it out, you will come to know that there are so many such courses available. There are self-paced courses. Okay. Even as a teacher, I'm allowed to register myself as an instructor. Okay. The teaching support system, we have the traditional, the modern, and the ICT based. Evaluation, that is assessment, the elements and types of evaluation in choice-based credit system in higher education, the CBCS format. So I always suggest to teachers, to the learners, those who are preparing for NETSET, that even a simple question such as you just observe the mark sheet of the students. What is CGPA? How it is calculated? Now, what is new under the new education policy? Such questions can be a part of the syllabus. Then we have the computer-based testing, that is the CBT mode. Presently, our NT exam is through the computer-based testing. And then we have innovations in evaluation system. Okay, we are making using new methods of evaluation, such as we have this Google Forms we are assessing. Okay, so these are the 6 subtopics. Now, definitely, as I told you, we are going to get 5 questions from each topic. So we have from here the teaching. You get one from teaching. Maybe if they are asking you memory, understanding, and reflective. Then we have the learner's characteristics, definitely related to students. The factors which affect teaching. The methods of teaching, this is 100% a question even asked in higher education, the teaching support system, and the evaluation system. Okay, so here we get questions related to the formative, summative assessment, which I've already explained in my teaching aptitude videos. So this is how you are going to analyze, break down the syllabus, understand on which areas you can work. Sometimes a question may be asked related to memory, understanding, and reflective level. And next time the question can be related to MOOCs. But this is how I'm supposed to study. The previous question papers are uploaded on the NTA website. You just need to go download them and understand the pattern. Okay, start revising. You understand which subjects or which topics are repeated again. Give more importance to it. Okay, now moving on to the research aptitude. This is very much important topic. Why? Because this is not only restricted to your NETSET syllabus, but whenever you are going to pursue PhD, or maybe you are pursuing it, or you are completing your MPhil, all these questions are very much important. Even as a teacher, when we enter into the higher education, we are supposed to present our research papers. So this is your base for that. So again, it is divided into 6 subtopics. If you have studied this subject at the master's level, example, I am from commerce background. I have studied this subject. We have research methodology. In fact, nowadays, students at the undergraduate level are studying. You have your black book and projects. Okay, so we are masters of philosophy students or PhD students and recent trends. Okay, there are so many workshops being daily organized. Even if you open a brochure, you will understand that what workshops are conducted on which topic. Now, what is review of literature? What is systematic review of literature? So all this is part of your syllabus. Again, it is divided into 6 subtopics. We have research. Definite question on this. It can be related to the meaning of research, the types, the characteristics, what is positivism, and post-positivistic approach to research. So positivism and post-positivistic approach to research has been recently added in 2019. So we expect question. Then we have methods of research. We have experimental, the cause and effect, the descriptive, which is generally done by the commerce, social science students, historical, the primary data, secondary data, qualitative, what is qualitative and what is quantitative methods. Okay, quantitative, which anything can be quantified in numbers. Qualitative example, beauty. For someone, Aishwarya Rai may be beautiful and someone, Katrina Kaif may be beautiful. Okay, so these are the methods of research. Now they have given only 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But once you open any book, you will see there are so many different methods of research. Understand, study that. The steps of research, every time it is a favorite question of NTA, and trust me, this is the most easiest question. The process, the steps are being asked. Then we have the thesis and article writing. We have format and we have styles of referencing. Okay, you know the APA style, American Psychological Association, if you're from social science. Then for languages, you have MLA, Chicago, and so on. Okay, so the questions can be related to what is plagiarism, because this is all part of your research papers, your thesis and article writing. Then when application of ICT, there are so many softwares. Okay, there are so many now, if you have heard about data analyst, okay, we are using SPSS, okay, we are using R software. All these are very much part of the syllabus. And research ethics, which is very, very mandatory now, because we all know what are the problems, what are the plagiarism activities going on for research. So this has become a compulsory and mandatory question asked by NTA. So again, 5 questions per topic. So if I get a question on types and characteristics of research, then we definitely get a question on methods of research, the steps of research, thesis and article writing, applications on ICT, and the research ethics. Okay, very scoring and always helpful for you. Moving on to the third, comprehension. You get confirmed 1 passage and 5 questions. Okay, so text is given to you. This is what we are generally studying from school. You will always ask passage-based questions. The only problem is if we stop reading, then what happens is we are not able to find out the question. Okay, questions are asked from the passage only. You just need to understand, you should have a good command over the language. You should, because this will help you score 10 marks. Okay, now generally 4 questions are related to the passage, and the 5th question is either you are asked to give a title to the passage, or maybe what is the key concept explained in the passage. So even if you are not able to find out that answer, but generally you have 8 marks with you. Okay, so you can easily score 10 marks. You always read the question first. This is what I do. Either you can read the passage and then you move on to the questions. But what I do is, to save my time, I just read the questions, because once I read the questions, then I know that in the passage what I need to search. Okay, so that you know what is to be given importance in the passage. And 4 questions are easy. Generally, 1 question is on the title or summary of the passage. The only hint for this is you practice. Okay, read passages, solve the questions. Your answers will never go wrong. Okay, so make reading a habit. Moving on to the 4th, the communication. 4 subtopics, very small syllabus. But yes, when you open the book, you know that there are various subtopics. Okay, if you are from language or literature, maybe you have studied this topic. But generally, as I'm from commerce, I'll give you a suggestion that you can refer any first year Bachelor of Mass Media book or first year BCom, that is Bachelor of Commerce, because we have this business communication subject, communication skills, where you can stick to the syllabus of NT. Okay, don't start reading each and every chapter from those books. Stick to what the syllabus is given in your net set. Okay, so again, we have 4 subtopics. Under communication, we have the meaning, we have types, and the characteristics of the communication. 100% you're going to get 1 question on this. Effective communication. Now, when you read the word effective, what should come to? Anything which is effective means it should produce results. Okay, so we have the verbal communication, the non-verbal, where we don't use words. Intercultural, when we are communicating with people from the other state, other country. Group communication, remember, whenever we can count the number of audience, it becomes a group communication. Classroom communication is generally related to the classroom communication. Okay, so the teaching aptitude, higher education, communication sometimes become overlapping. Then we have barriers to effective communication. What are barriers? Any obstacle, any hurdle. You are very good with the language, but the teacher's voices are not audible to you. Okay, so what happens is that becomes a barrier. Okay, I'm teaching you, but there's a barat going out in the background. So again, it becomes a barrier to the communication. So different types of barriers. Mass media and the society. Questions related to this are very general. I always advise all my learners to make sure you read the news, you follow news channels, because some very basic question. Example, who won the Olympics? Or maybe where was this Commonwealth Games hosted? Or who won the silver? Or so such questions can be asked. Sometimes related to Bollywood, the national awards. Okay, something related to the society, something related to COVID and all. Such questions, recent trends can be asked. So just remember, per topic we have 5 questions, and per topic we're going to fetch you 10 marks. Moving on to the 5th, mathematical reasoning and aptitude. If you are hating your maths right from childhood, then it becomes very difficult, because without practice, even if we know the formula, but if you are not able to memorize or understand the language, you are going to lose your 2 marks. Okay, they are very practical questions, very, very scoring. In fact, 10 marks are in your hands, but without calculator, it can be time consuming. So you have to make sure that understand, if you're giving 10-15 minutes to this section, is it worth it? If I'm very good with communication questions, so it is my duty to realize, my responsibility, that which questions I should attempt first in the examination. So we have types of reasoning. The number series, the letter series. Okay, either they multiply by 2, sometimes the cube, +2, -2, the codes and the relationships. In one attempt, they may ask you quotes. Maybe in the next attempt, they're going to ask you about blood relationships. Okay, a simple question. We don't know if you're very comfortable with Hindi. Okay, I'm telling you Mamaji. Who is Mamaji in English? Okay, so you should know Mamaji is my maternal uncle. Okay, who is Chachaji? Chachaji is my paternal. Okay, so this question, this relationship should be very much in your mind. Otherwise, you fail to answer such questions. Then mathematical aptitude, we have the fraction, we have time and distance, we have ratio, we have proportion, percentage, profit and loss, interest, discount. So in one attempt, or maybe in one shift, they are asking about profit and loss. In another, they will ask about interest and discount. Simple questions, but if you don't understand the language, you are not comfortable in calculation, you don't know the formula, you may miss those 2 marks. Okay. So it is your strategy, which subject to be given importance and how much time should be given in the examination. Moving on to the next, we have logical reasoning. This is something very interesting if you love logic. Now, I was from commerce background. So what happens is we are never taught these subjects. Okay, maybe if you're from arts, it becomes little easier if you have studied this topic. So under this, we have 7 subtopics and Indian logic is a recent addition. So such questions are being asked. First, understanding the structure of arguments. What is structure? What is argument? Okay, now what are statements? So such questions can be asked. The different forms of argument, the structure of categorical proposition. Now what is category? You have this affirmative. Okay, you have the universal. All such questions. Moods and figures. If you are not even aware about it, that it means your study has not been completed. What is formal and informal fallacies? Simple meaning of how many fallacies are there? Okay, practical questions. Identify which fallacy it is. Use of language, connotation, denotation of terms. Okay, pure language, pure meaning. The classical square of opposition, which is very interesting, provided you know. Evaluating and distinguish between deductive and inductive reasoning. What is deductive? Okay, we go from whole to part or from part to whole. Okay, now if you are a commerce student, okay, right from our first day we were taught what is debit, what is credit. But if you directly go to do your MBA in accountancy or finance, so maybe at that stage they are not going to teach you that what is debit and with the assumption that you know it. Okay, so what is deductive, what is inductive? In deductive we go from general to particular, whereas in inductive we go from particular to general. Okay, from one part to the whole. So this is the theory. Then we have analogies, comparison. Okay, they will give you questions related to army. Okay, they are comparing it somewhere. Okay, so whenever there is a comparison, it becomes an analogy. Questions. Okay, बचपन में हमको बताते थे ना झाड़ू के तीलों को अगर साथ में रखे तो यूनिटी हो जाती है. So that is an example of analogy. Then we have the Venn diagrams. Okay, the simple and the multiple used for establishing validity of argument. Now, what is validity? What is invalid? Okay, what are the features, characteristics in the sense, the properties. Indian logic, means of knowledge. Okay, this is very beautiful concept. Even from our Indian logic, we should study it. Okay, because it is very interesting. The pramanas, what is pratyaksh? Okay, the English word is perception. Sometimes the English word is asked, sometimes the Hindi word is also. What is anumana? Inference. Okay, you see the clouds. You assume it is going to rain. Okay, it becomes very dark. So this is an inference. Upamana, your comparison. Okay, you saw a cow. You saw a similar animal the another day. So you try to compare. Shabda, verbal testimony. Now, if I'm guiding you something and you have trust in me because I've been guiding NetSet aspirants for the past 6 years. So you take my word as a verbal testimony. Okay, you go to the doctor, you trust the doctor because the doctor has the experience. You listen to your grandmoms. Okay, why? Because they are experienced. So that becomes your verbal testimony. Arthapati, implication, assumption, and anuplabdhi, the non-apprehension of something. Okay, so simple, right from the meaning to what is there, and generally they are asking you, giving you practical examples and asking you which pramana it is. Then the structure and kinds of anumana, which is part of your inference. The vyapti, what is invariable relation, hetvabhasa, fallacies of inference. Okay, so I definitely tell you one question can be asked from this categorical proposition. Okay, the classical square of opposition, analogy, deductive, inductive, and that is also helpful for research. Then Venn diagrams. Okay, Indian logic, you are getting questions. In fact, 2 questions have been asked on pramanas. So this is how you understand the syllabus. Okay, download the question papers, understand what pattern of questions are. Then it becomes very easier. Divide the syllabus, understand which part you don't. Suppose you have never heard about moods and figures. Today only you came to know. So go and study about that. Understand. Buy a basic book. KVS Madan book for paper 1 is excellent. Buy that book. Data interpretation, fix 5 questions. You are given a graph chart. Okay. So sometimes you get other questions such as as it is part of syllabus, what is sources, acquisition, classification of data. Okay. We have quantitative data, we have qualitative data, or we can say primary data, secondary data, or what is tertiary data. Okay, combination of both. Quantitative, qualitative, graphical representation, bar chart. They used to ask you question related on ogives also. Okay, frequency, pie chart, table chart. If you are very good with this, trust me, this is the most scoring topic. But if you're like me, you don't understand numbers without calculator, then it becomes very difficult. Data interpretation, which is generally asked, data governance. Okay, now there are so many frauds. Okay, something related to data, technology, and all. So you are going to get 5 questions. Sometimes a bar diagram or the histogram is very, very simple. Just by observing, you understand. Okay, they have given you 5 years data. In which year there was maximum rainfall, or in which year there was maximum production. So sometimes by observing also you understand. Okay, so even if you're skipping these topics, just go to the question. Okay, and as there is no negative marking, make sure at least you don't keep your answer blank. Okay, sometimes just by your tir and tukka you get the correct answer. Okay, so this is very easy. Information and communication technology, we all are beautifully connected through this ICT. In fact, now I'm teaching you on YouTube just because of this technology. Okay, so right from the definition, what is information, what is data? Okay, simple information, what is simple data? Communication technologies. Okay, so definition, terms, terminology matters a lot. We have 4 subtopics. You should be very comfortable and very, I'll say, keep yourself updated with such, because questions related to Android software can be asked. Okay, anything related to Microsoft Teams can be asked. Recent awareness, they are not very technical questions. Okay, so ICT, right from the general abbreviations and terminal, and every time you will get one abbreviation. Okay, then we have the basics of internet. When they talk about basics, in fact, everything is basic now. We should know what is Zoom, what is Google Classroom. Okay, intranet. Now, when we are working in an organization, we are connected through each other. So that is intranet. When we are connected to the entire world, that is internet. Email, electronic mail. Okay, questions related to what is the full form of BCC, blind card. Then we give you a question. Okay, that whether this email has been marked to CC, whether that person will be able to see or not. The audio and video conferencing. Okay, 2-way, 1-way. Now, if I'm video calling you, definitely we see each other. Okay, digital initiatives and higher education, very much important. As a learners, there are so many beautiful contributions to these topics through research also. Okay, so how many recently they have introduced so many digital initiatives. Okay, we have the Swayam Prabha, so many. Okay, just Google it out. You will get there are more than 30 digital initiatives by the government. Some for research, some for school students, some for graduates, some for postgraduates, some for PhD. Then ICT and governance. Okay, simple. The act. Okay, there are so many cyber frauds. What is phishing? Okay, such questions have been asked. You must be reading daily, or you must, if you are watching news, you know there are so many cyber frauds going on. Okay, so which act is preventing it? So such questions can be part of this next set paper. Then I mentioned your data hierarchy. So you have MB, your KB. Okay, so that data hierarchy is a favorite question again. And social media questions. Okay, what is Facebook for? Instagram is famous for what? Or Instagram belongs to which country? Or it a brainchild of which? Okay, so all such questions have been asked. So trust me, these are very general questions. You can keep your eyes and ears open. Just go through the syllabus, understand. Even a basic book, when you are completed your 12th, you do such courses. So that is also very much helpful. Moving on to the next, people development and environment. This is generally you get ki itna bada syllabus. It is so boring. But yes, we all know that environment is so much important. 7 subtopics, they are related, categorized and divided into 3. The people, the society, the development, the country, the nation, the environment. Okay, so this is not only your EVS. The latest news keep following, because now there are so many conference of parties going on. Which country is hosting that? Okay, what they're fighting for. So such questions have come. Okay, even if you read today, the today's newspaper will come to know that we are undergoing a water crisis. How many of us try to conserve our environment? Okay, even a small step taken by you can always help the environment. And this is generally, I have taught this subject also, even if I have not studied somewhere geography, or during my undergraduate, I have studied this environmental subject, because now it is a compulsory part of any stream you go for. So we have development and environment, where we have questions related to millennium development and sustainable development goals. Okay, we failed achieving the millennium development goals. There were 8 goals. As the name suggests, millennium in 2000, and then we quickly moved on to sustainable development goals. These goals are to be achieved by 2030. What if we are not going to achieve? How many goals are there? 17 goals. Which of them? Okay, so questions related to, right from the definition to the meaning of sustainability. And sustainability has become such a hot topic that everywhere you can Okay, we have sustainable business, we have sustainable tourism, we have sustainable transport. Now, if you know, we have this electric buses coming up. Okay, in many of the states. I'm from Mumbai, and we have electric buses. Okay, so why we are doing this? Because we want to protect the environment. So that is also part of sustainable transport. So how many goals are there? Which of this is not a Millennium Development Goal? Which of this is not a sustainable? Such questions are repeatedly asked. Human and environment interaction, anthropogenic activities. We are doing so many harming the environment. Okay, we are using fertilizers. Okay, we are using something for the sea and all. So that becomes the anthropogenic activities by the humans. And what is their impact on the environment? Environmental issues, 100% you're going to get question on pollution. Sometimes it is air pollution, sometimes it is water pollution. The act, what preventive measures somebody is fighting for the soil, somebody is working on conserving or protecting the environment. Okay, so all such questions. The local, regional, and global air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, noise pollution, waste, the solid, liquid. See, we randomly use, okay, the mask everywhere we are throwing them. So that becomes a biomedical hazard, na? Okay. And then we have this electronics. We are buying so many gadgets. And when we are done with them, we don't know where to throw. Okay, so there are initiatives taken by stores such as Chroma. They tell you come and dump your electronic waste here. So they will take care of it. Okay, such questions can be asked. Climate change, very, very important. Okay, because you see, there are so many places which are, they are now in the floods. Okay, or there is excessive rain or excessive heat, and its social economic impact. Now, see, in Mumbai, we have got decent rainfall this time, but in north side, we are not getting rainfall. So again, this is because of climate change. The impacts of pollutants on human health. Okay, we have the primary pollutants, the secondary pollutants, carbon dioxide, gaseous and all. Natural and energy resources, the solar, wind, soil, hydro, geothermal, biomass, nuclear forest, whether they're renewable, whether they are non-renewable. Okay, solar is sun, soil, okay, wind, the tidal energy, hydro, water, geothermal, the earth heat. So even a basic meaning will help you understand. Okay, if there is any act for it, how we are trying to promote them. Natural hazards and disasters, we have the mitigation strategies. Okay, now recently in Mumbai, yesterday only, we saw building getting collapsed. Okay, so what happens in this is also a disaster. Okay, we can tell that it is a man-made disaster because we all know the building is in a dilapidated condition. Okay, so there are so many disasters which are God gifted and sometimes which are created by man. Okay, so this how to prevent them. Now there is a technology. Okay, we can always predict that whether there is going to be heavy rainfall or maybe whether there is going a country is going to be hit by earthquake and all. So how do we control them? Which acts are there or which recovery NDRF comes to prevent all this, okay, disasters. Then the Environmental Protection Act in 1986, the National Action Plan on Climate Change. Okay, where there are how many plans you should remember. Okay, what all are included. International agreements affords. Montreal Protocol is related to which gas? What is Rio Summit? Okay, which year it was organized? Whether if we were able to achieve them. Convention on biodiversity. What is biodiversity? Okay, there are specific areas reserved for flora, fauna, animals, plants, tigers. Kyoto Protocol. Favorite question of mine. Okay, right from which year? How many countries have ratified this agreement? Why we are focusing on this? What if we fail in Kyoto Protocol? Okay, so the Paris Agreement came into International Solar Alliance. It is our India's. Okay, so such question, how many countries are involved? So such basic questions can be asked. And trust me, NetSet is not always from the books. As learners, as teachers, we should always keep us upgrading with the news, the recent awareness, because the minute you missed it, maybe it was a next time question. So see, 7 subtopics, definitely you're going to get question on MDGs or 100% on sustainable development goals. Second, we confirm get question on pollution, but we don't know which type of pollution or how badly or how, I'll say, tricky the question is. Okay, then what is the impact of pollution on you? Then definitely on natural energy resources, the disaster and something related to this, international agreements or what we are pursuing. Okay, so moving on to the last topic for this paper one, higher education system, very, very important. I have recently uploaded one video on it for which I've get a good feedback. So yes, I'll be coming up with the next videos also. So this is very, very important. You should keep yourself updated with the undergraduate, postgraduate level questions. Okay, as I told you, a simple mark sheet will help you understand how the marks are calculated, or maybe what is the full form of SGPA, what is CG, what is choice-based credit system. Okay, so more of higher education institutions, as this examination is to qualify and become an assistant professor. So we generally don't ask questions related to the school and all, and the digital initiatives. These are the 3 hot topics which are definitely be part of your this topic. Institutions of higher learning and education in ancient India. So we have questions from Gurukul and all. Okay, then evolution of higher learning. how we came from textbooks. Now we have moved on to digital and research in post-independence India. We have so many committees, we have so many commissions. Again, new education policy, we are going to get some questions. What is experiential learning? Okay, something, many workshops have been organized on it. Then what is new structure under the new education policy, or what was Daulat Commission or Kothari Commission? Okay, so such questions are almost a part of this question. Oriental, what is Oriental learning program? What is conventional, the traditional courses, our BCom, BA, then the non-conventional, the present, okay, the vocational courses, or where you can learn and do. Okay, so all such questions. Professional courses, we have the MBA, they are regulated by AICT, just as BCom is regulated by UGC. Okay, so questions on AICT, what is NAC, okay, who are the regulators of this higher education ministry, questions have been asked. Who is your HRD minister, what are the new initiatives, the technical, okay, and skill-based education. We all know that India is facing problem of unemployment, and how much our students or my graduates are skilled. So that also depends. Now, the value education, we are gradually losing our moral values. Every day you will find so many frauds happening, whether it is related to banks or cyber. Why? Because people are now losing their patience. They don't have jobs. Okay, the easy money. Okay, recently I read in the newspaper yesterday that many students, what they did, they saw the YouTube videos on how to, it is very bad to read that. They are now trying to do all the activities which are wrong for them. Okay, all the immoral activities. Okay, YouTube पर जाके सीखो कि बाइक को कैसे चोरी करना है या फिर साइबर फ्रॉड कैसे करना है. So it has become so easy. So we need to train them that values are important. I understand that money is also important, but not this way. And the environmental education, okay, so something how we are conserving our environment, which is very much a part of our environmental topic. Then we have the policies, governance, and administration. Earlier, this topic was related to polity also. We used to have questions on Rajya Sabha, okay, the Lok Sabha, where who was the speaker on the recent elections and so on, or the regulator and so on. But yes, questions on Indian constitution, the fundamental duties, all such questions are very much part of this syllabus. Okay, so this topic, 10th higher education system, very, very important. As a teacher, as a learner of, once you become a teacher, you should be aware of. So we have 6 subtopics, questions on Gurukul, then how the higher education has evolved from the textbooks or from Gurukul to the digital hybrid mode also. Then the different programs which are offered by the universities, what are autonomous universities, okay, how many presently we have the state universities or which are fake universities, okay. Such questions are very much part of this topic. Then the professional, technical, the regulators and value education in mind. Definitely you're going to go questions on this highlighted parts. Okay, so this I've given you some important links. It is also, I believe, our duty and responsibility to keep checking the websites, different websites, rather than Googling. Sometimes you can go and visit the website of MHRD. You come to know about various schemes, offers, okay, which are given by the government for the underprivileged or for the meritorious students. Now we have some minority commissions which are focusing on the minority students, okay. So such things, central university, state university, what are deemed universities. So I've given them, okay, you can always refer them. Okay, and then this is again, which I say, note as per the syllabus, 5 questions. So definitely we are going to get 5 questions per topic. It means I have 100 marks and I just need to score 70 at least to qualify even junior research fellowship, with the aim of keeping a target of 140 marks in paper 2 as well. Okay, so if you want to achieve all India rank, then definitely you have to give 10%, 20%, 100% more. Okay, so but how much time to study, how to study, that completely depends upon you. Organize your notes, give quality time, study. When you're studying, only study. Keep your WhatsApp and other social media off, because it is up to us. Because today I am teaching and I'm giving respect to my students. Tomorrow it may be you who are going to teach in the future. So we all should do this. Important note, read all the 4 options. There is no negative point. Don't be excited. Sometimes the paper pattern change. Okay, the question may be asked in a tricky manner, and don't jump to conclusion. Okay, sometimes you get so excited. Okay, this was a question I've studied, but we fail to analyze the options have been changed. So just don't do that. Don't miss your marks just because of this I said excitement, or just because I'm dar gaye. Highlight is not word. Okay, sometimes they ask you not. So 2 negatives, strike them off. It becomes answer. Tricks depend on the question and the options. And when in doubt, mark the option you feel the best. Okay, analyze all the options and mark the most suitable. Don't keep your question blank, answer blank, because we don't have negative marks under UGC. And this is the references at bibliography, which I never fail to acknowledge, because otherwise we all are doing plagiarism, which should not be done by us. We all should be ethical, because we are the teachers. And when you are teaching on a public platform such as YouTube, it is a more moral responsibility to become more responsible. So this data has been taken from KVS Madan and Aryan book. and all websites related to UGC NET and SET. And this is just compiled by me. Avoid plagiarism, again a part of research aptitude, and believe in the power of gratitude and trust yourself. Don't be overconfident, but stay confident. Study, revise, practice. Okay, make your smart notes, and definitely you all can not only qualify assistant professor, but your GRF also. Okay, and this is, I'm strongly promoting public transport initiative by me to request people to use public transport whenever possible, because in a city like Mumbai, we all know that if our trains come to a halt or our buses are not running, then the entire city becomes you can say comes to a halt. So this is, we should not go for another pandemic, which may be because of the excessive pollution, which already we know. We are studying our for NetSet also. So public transport use whenever possible. And if any question and answers, please do message me. I've also given you my email in the first slide, or you can just comment me. If you like my videos and you want me to create a video on any of your topic, please message me, comment me, and do like and share. Subscribe to my channel for the further notifications, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.